Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I'm your most favorite manifestation coach under the sun. Reason why is because nobody cares so much about their clients as I do. I really want you to do well. I really want you to achieve the greatest results under the sun so that you can say, I went to honors coaching, I worked hard. There is that. You have to come, prepare to work. It's a boot camp. But I did it. I finally understand what it is to create on purpose. And two, there's no other coaching like my coaching. I coach in audio exchange and phone sessions. The most popular packages, the link is below to my website, is the Audio Unlimited package. And the other one is the Unlimited Phone Sessions Deluxe. And that means, let me explain, the audio exchange starts out with a phone call. Every time I start with the any client, once you book me, I start out with a phone call that lasts an hour long. And I record that phone call for posterity so that I can take further notes. I really am, I love taking notes because there's so many intricacies to everybody. There's no way for me to take that many notes on the phone, so I'd rather do it like a second portion of the notes later. After that, we exchange audios. I ask you to cover everything with me, all your memories since childhood all the way up until today. And the reason that is important to me is because we really need to understand your blueprint. I need to understand what I'm working on here with you and what needs to change in order for you to become the person that manifests easily versus right now you're stuck. Okay. Now, parenthesis here, you really need to come prepared to spend 2 to 3 months minimum with me in coaching. Okay. I used to say it's a minimum a month. Like people send me my audios back to me like all the time. I'm like, yeah, thank you. I know I recorded that. And in a lot of those, I say 1 month minimum. And I really want to correct myself here because you know what? It really is becoming that clear to me that 1 month just isn't enough for me to get to know you and then coach you on top of it, right? So you're always in coaching, but after the history coverage, we really need to get into, specific exercises, the metaphysical situation of how to manifest this and that and the other, forgiveness, other exercises that I employ. Everybody's different, so I do different things with different people. And so please understand that this is an investment in yourself. All right. So don't expect me to be this like miracle worker on you that you're going to suddenly like transform in 1 month. It has happened when like somebody comes back into my coaching for 1 month more. That's another story. But if you're just starting out with me, you really need to come prepared to work. Otherwise, like I can't do it. So the other package is the phone. By the way, we talk this way back and forth with audios. Once I receive your audio, I analyze it, I transcribe it in my own way, and then I record the response, the analysis of your audio. The same thing more or less happens. And we talk like this 2 to 3 times per week, by the way, which no coach does under the sun. The telephone exchange, meaning the phone sessions, goes like this. We also talk 2 to 3 times per week. It's an hour-long session. I record it again for posterity and for my notes. And during the session, it basically the same exact process happens, except you get me live and you can ask me questions in the process, right? So the price is higher. Thus, the price is higher because also for me, going through a 20-minute audio versus going through an hour session, there's a big difference. It's triple the amount of notes that I have to take and all that jazz. In both scenarios, upon booking, you need to sign my coaching agreement. It's pretty self-explanatory that I'm not a psychiatrist. There are no refunds in my coaching. You don't get to disrespect me. You don't get to rebuttal me. You don't get to question my methods. And you don't get to violate other rules like exceeding 20-minute mark of the audio and all that jazz. It's pretty self-explanatory, but you just need to sign it for me and return it to me. And then we start our coaching. If you have any questions, please email me. The email is directly below. There's also my phone number, so you can also text me if that's what you prefer. Alternatively, just book me and let me know when you'd like to schedule our first phone session. I will let you know when I'm available. You let me know when you're available, and then we proceed. All right. I wanted to give a shout out to one of my subscribers. Her name is, her screen name is cat_V. She was very kind to me and to all of you actually, to put the links of my most popular videos that I mention a lot in my audios/videos in the description. So I'm going to just copy and paste that. Thank you so much, Cat V. That was marvelous of you and very generous with your time. So you can just click it. It's going to be underneath all my information that you need for booking my coaching. So it's going to be, so keep scrolling, in other words. So that's wonderful. Okay, the subject of today is why your SP hasn't come back yet. Okay, a lot of people, I'm sure, will have this question in mind, and a lot of people have this in my coaching and all that jazz. Now, parenthesis here really quick. I'm going to start the subject, but last night, there's something happening in the air. Maybe that's just me. I went through a shift recently. And it's been like really wild for a week. I can't really explain it. It's been a shift in energy. I felt so discombobulated for a week. And today is the first day that I really feel like myself. And, everybody's always evolving. And I can't really go into detail right now, like personally, what's been happening with me. But a lot of like upgrades, I would say. That's how I would put it. In the external and the internal world, and a lot of like processing of things that, sometimes even a coach needs an upgrade and to process something that for me, I didn't even realize that, I had, this is another step to go higher and higher and higher. And I don't know if you've been feeling this way, but I'm definitely feeling this energy, and I just wanted to share this energy with you. I feel so brand new today. It's unparalleled. Like even my face got younger this morning. I don't know what happened. Anyway, and the other parenthesis is at the end. So why I'm mentioning it is in the middle of the night, I was going to sleep. Actually, I woke up and I felt inspired to record something like a little bits because I didn't want to grab my pen and start writing it all out. And I didn't have the time to transcribe it, nor do I have the time for it. So at the end of the audio, there will be a bonus that I recorded last night at like 1 a.m. in my bed. And the recording is clear, but I sound like, I just woke up. So stay until the end to hear that, because it's like a bonus of this subject. Okay. So there you go. Okay. So why has your SP not come back yet? The number one reason, okay, I think you guys can guess this, the ones that have been on my channel for quite some time, is because you don't love yourself and you have low self-esteem. On some level, you're not saying to the universe, to your SP, that, hey, I've got it going on, okay? I'm okay without you. I don't specifically need you. Yeah, it would be fun to have you back, but I don't depend on your approval. The only person's approval that I need is my own. And that's a point that you need to really reach in order to really be free with your manifestations, not just SP, but anything at all. If you're depending even on your job's approval, boss's approval, your neighbor's approval, whoever the fuck's up, your friend's approval, you're in deep doo-doo, my darling. Seriously, because if you don't get it, then you think something's wrong. And you know what? If you're going around looking for love in all the wrong places, meaning looking for approval from other people, it's like, that's not the way it works. You need to approve of yourself first and then seek approval, meaning, and then get approval from others. You will never get any love or approval from another person unless you give it to yourself, because the other person always reflects what you've got going on inside, okay? The second thing, of course, is because you make them more important than you, okay? It goes hand in hand with what I just said. If you make another person vital to your survival or to your approval, to your love, again, you're in trouble, because if you don't get it one day, or if they say something to you, or if this, that, and the other, then it becomes like, you're evolving around them and not them around you, okay? You're the most important person in your world. And you need to operate from the stance of, I'm creating my life, you're creating your life. I'm creating my beautiful shed, you're creating your beautiful shed. Now, if we come together, wonderful. But you are not more important to me than I am. Oh, no, 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 no. We can tango, we can dance, we can salsa together. But I am my own person. And what I think, what I am about really fucking matters. And that's the kind of respect and self-esteem that goes hand in hand with creating a version, first of all, of a speed that's going to be respecting you and fucking licking gems of your toes. Or chocolate, Nutella, or whatever the fuck else you please. Honey. And really respect what you have to say. If you don't respect yourself, if you're hanging on their every word and you answering their text immediately, or if you think that if you don't get their text, something terrible happen, you know what? You will never get this SP. You will never get, like, what? They're not texting me? Great. So whatever, they're doing something. They're doing some shit, they're busy and whatever. Now, if you've been in no contact for a long time, again, that's a manifestation, and this is what I'm covering here. But the thing is, you also created it out of needing them for happiness. You can never, like, there's only one chaser in the game, and it should never be you. It should be the other person. It's just the way it works. The other thing is because you're worried they won't come back. Another thing of kind of like low self-esteem, right? So why would you think that rather than think they have no choice but to come back? You're thinking about them means that they're thinking about you. Thought transmission. Again, the link is below. Thank you, Kat V. They will come back. It's inevitable, but you have to allow them to come back. Your thoughts have to change. If you're worried they won't come back, they're not fucking coming back, because you're the ruler of your universe. You're corresponding with the quantum field 24/7. And if you're saying, I'm so worried they won't come back, okay, then they're not coming back. You have to take it literally. Number one thing, you have to really remember the universe is a copying machine, and everything you think is literally, especially if you fuel it with energy of your emotion, of your worry or love or whatever it is. Worry and fear, my darling use, is just as powerful as love. It's on the other side of the spectrum, but it's so powerful that you can worry yourself sick, you can worry yourself into no contact, you can worry yourself in your relationship for falling apart, because you're creating the very shit you're worried about. Let go of that shit to the best of your ability, or get into my coaching, and I'll explain to you. Well, everybody's case by case. Like sometimes people tell me, your your content should be paid. And I always say to people, I don't want to do this because, first of all, I really want to get for the people to get something they can work with, but also everybody's like case by case. I cannot know your history from over here. Obviously, I don't know you. So coaching is exactly for that, because the generalized statement could be what I'm saying to you right here, but I don't know your fears. I don't know your childhood. I don't know what your hang-ups are. Tongue twister. Hang-ups are. That's why coaching is, for examining that. Okay. Next is because you're too obsessed with them. Okay, obsessing in a negative sense, not like lovingly, like, oh, I love you so much. No, in a negative sense, like obsessing, like thinking about them 24/7 in a way where it's become, unhealthy. Okay, watching these videos, 500 million videos on YouTube, and everything that's under the sun that's available for SPs, and a lot of it, between you and I, darlings, it's not that great. It's designed to keep you in fear and to keep watching videos. It's not the answer. Once you get into coaching with me or anybody else who resonates with you, okay, I don't mean to brag, but I'm kind of like, I know exactly what the fuck I'm doing. I've done this for 8 years, and if the person shows up and they do the work, they usually succeed. On a rare occasion, I had 1 or 2 people who were, truth be told, lazy and didn't want to do it and just didn't achieve anything. So if you're coming up, if you're showing up, if you're doing the work, you will always succeed. Obsessing doesn't serve you. You need to get your thoughts in order. You need to be obsessed about yourself, about your businesses, about your appearance, the way you eat, what you eat, things that really matter to you. If you're pouring out so much energy towards another person, you're left empty, okay? You don't have anything to offer anybody, and much less to yourself. Your finances might suffer, this, that, and the other. You need to get your shit together and stop obsessing over one fucking idiot and start obsessing about you. Okay, they might not be an idiot, but I'm just saying it's just one fucking person. It's not that hard. Don't make it so hard for yourself. Another reason could be you're still upset with them. A lot of people, sometimes people get into my coaching and they say, no, I've worked on forgiveness, it's been done with, and da. And then towards the end of the coaching, I discover this treasure of information that they're like, yeah, you know what? After all, I think I do resent them still for doing this, that, and the other. Oh, good morning, superstar. Well, we should have had this conversation many months ago. Yeah, we should have started with that. You saved the best for last. Amazing. Incredible. So if you're still upset with them, like genuinely, if you think about it, like within the depth of your heart and soul, if there's any kind of like grudge or resentment, this is so blocking you, you don't even understand. You don't even understand. You really need to clear that shit and create another narrative that you created, that shitty fucking version out of the construct of your own mind. I know it's very hard to hear because some of the people, look, it's like, it's hard to hear. But the thing is, once you arrive at this understanding and complete knowing, it's so liberating because you're like, yeah, that was me. I did that. So now I get to recreate this version. And one version has nothing to do with the other. It's like 2 different people, okay? And so if you're hanging on to the old version, I already discussed this on my channel, there's no chance for you to experience the new one, and you're not going to manifest them at all. Furthermore, you don't want to manifest the old shitty version. It's going to be the old shit all over again. You don't want that shitty old version. You want the new version. And in order for you to be able energetically speaking, to manifest the new version, you have to let go of the old shitty version and start designing the new, just like in a laboratory. No joke. This is exactly what we do in coaching. This is exactly how it works anyway. All day long, you're in a laboratory of your mind creating shit. Understand this and don't be sloppy about it. Don't be lazy about it. So in a sense, there's nothing to really be upset about. It's just a matter of processing this. It's not to say that you're not correct in feeling upset about these things. But even if like sometimes, and I really wanted to, like when I was thinking about this audio this morning, I thought, like I better mention narcissists because some people have dedicated fucking channels to discussing fucking narcissists. Now look here's the deal. Let's not glorify the problem. Somebody could have been a narcissist and is. But the version that you want to interact with is another kind of version, right? So if you want to interact with a different version, then you can create a different version. Now, if you don't want to, if there's something so completely unappealing to you about what you've experienced with this person that you are completely done in your heart, that's another story. And I understand that because I've experienced that. But if there's still a glimpse of hope in your heart that, you know what, there are some really good things about this person and I can see the other side in them and la 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 la, because everybody's on a spectrum, by the way, in parentheses here, then you can definitely change that. And let's not glorify the problem. Let's focus on the solution, okay? Second point would be because you're not buying into the new version. Okay, this goes hand in hand with what I just said. A lot of people, again, coming coaching with me and said, I worked on the revision, I worked on the new version, and it hasn't worked. Well, my darling, you have to really buy into it. If you don't believe it, if you don't allow yourself the possibility, yes, this person could have changed like this way. Parenthesis here, it's not really change, it's just a new version. Just a completely different version. I think it would be very helpful if you started thinking of things in those terms. If anybody has a pet or like a cat or dog or something at home, you can experiment. Like there are many different versions of this cat and of this dog. Okay, I know this for a fact because when I trained my dog, when I first got him, he was rambunctious as hell. Like I was like, oh no, I think I'm shipping you back. He was not having it with me. He was pooping everywhere in my place and peeing everywhere and barking at me and biting me, destroying my clothes, my designer clothes. It's like, what the fuck is this shit? What did I like get into here? And then I was like, no, I know how to manifest. So let me see here. And I wrote out a list, like he's going to behave like this and he's going to be doing this and no. And you may be laughing at this example, but you know something? Within a month, he was just like that. And today he obeys me. It's like he's the most amazing dog that you can possibly imagine. I mean, patient, obedient, just so smart and everything that I put on the list. And so basically, you can apply this to your SP. Train him like a dog. Just kidding. Oh my God, so funny. Imagine that new version, right? So buying into the new version is saying, yes, this could be real. This could happen. Or like I've had so enough of the old version that I really need the new version. There are no, like, gotta have it or else kind of deal. Like if you have a hard time believing in parallel realities and different version of a person, like it's my way or the motherfucking highway. Okay, like this is what's gotta be. And it's just like saying to the universe, like, watch out, bitches, I'm coming through. All right, this is what I decided, and that's it. This is what I decided. This is what I decided what's going to happen, and it's the law. It must happen. And you don't go back on your decision. even for a moment, you don't go back. You're like, I've decided this is the version I want. It's kind of like when you're shopping on the internet, it's like, this is whatever I want, and that's it. It's in the mail. And that's the power state of, fucking creating miracles overnight. It's like, this is how he is, and this is how she is, and that's it. I mean, for a moment, it's okay to feel sadness or even anger or disappointment and this and that, but you don't go back on your decisions. You don't go back and say, oh, wait, but they were like this and like that. Okay, that was the old version. You need to buy into the new version just as much as you remember or you bought into the old version, which you created in the first fucking place. Who's to blame here? Nobody. It was just an experience. So just toss it and be like, it's done and over with. What am I thinking about now is what matters. Right now. Okay. Get ready. This is going to be long, all right? So, okay. Another point could be because you're glorifying their third party if they have one, okay? You're making it so important that it's staying in your consciousness, in your reality. Now, why that is, also parenthesis here, I examine this in coaching. Chances are you observed earlier on, maybe with your parents, maybe somehow else, where somebody took your guy or somebody took your girl and got away with it. Or you didn't get the guy or the girl that you wanted and somebody else got a chance with them. The examples could be innumerable, but the point is you expected it and you got exactly what you expected. And now you're putting that third party literally on the pedestal, and even if they don't look as good as you or not as smart as you or this, that, and the other, don't make as much money as you still think that somehow they have something over you. And they don't. The only thing that they have over you is because you put them over you. Hello, good morning, how are you? Leave them the fuck alone in your consciousness. They don't matter. You created them out of thin air. And you decided that they matter somehow because it's like the boogeyman, like, woohoo, this is what I'm afraid of and I'm going to create it. Don't be fucking afraid of anything. It doesn't matter. That third party, there's a reason why it's called third party. It's just like, it's extra. It's some trash shit over here. I'm sorry, I'm on fire today. It's not important. Stop making it important. It won't be important. If you got up in the morning today or whenever you get, whatever, this day today, if you just decided this third party business is finished once and for all. They've lost complete interest. It's dusted. There's nothing else to do here. They know that I was always the one for them. I created this bullshit situation in the first place. I am uncreating it right now, right here. That's all it takes is your decision to go and say, you know what? I've played this game enough with myself. I'm fucking tired of this shit. It's over. It's me and no one else. Go watch my other video before this one about how to make your SP realize you're the one. Parenthesis here, don't say it with resentment. Don't say it with resentment. Say it like it really doesn't matter. Like third party, what? No, I made them important. And now I'm making them not important, but with complete nonchalance, with complete non-emotion. Like, oh, I did it, but now I don't want to do it anymore. And that's it. Okay. The next point could be because you're commanding them not to come with your thoughts and dialogue. So this is so prevalent, in everybody, in a lot of people. You say you want them, but then you start dialoguing with them in your head. And don't worry, they're listening, they heard you. Yeah, but what about this that you did? But what about that? But what if you don't come? But what if the third parties, you love them more and you stay there? But what if? You commanding them not to come. This is a very important point. Underline 300 million times and circle it and put stars around it, which is what I do when I coach somebody and I take my notes. Very important point. Stop dialoguing against yourself. Start dialoguing with yourself about things that really matter to you in a preferable manner. Start saying, they can't wait to see me. They can't wait to come back. They can't wait to be with me. They can't wait to share life with me. They can't wait to do all the stupid little things with me, like cooking dinner and whatever else the fuck you do together. Well, other than that stuff. Sorry. do the things in your mind with the thoughts, with the dialogue that you want. Stop commanding them not to come with that bullshit old story. Basically, that's what I want to say. Another point, because you're going back and forth on your desire. Again, going back to the decision, you have to say, watch out, bitches, I'm coming through. This is like parting seas. I command the universe through my decision that this is what I want, and this is what I want, and this is what I want. And no power on earth in the universe will ever fucking stop me. It doesn't exist. There's no other power, first of all. You've been playing this ping pong game with yourself. And so going back and forth, you know what? If you're still making up your mind, fine. But you can't be going back and forth for years. You have to be steady in your vibration and say this. And then it happens quicker. But most of you don't do this shit. Most of you like, maybe I want him, maybe I don't. Maybe I want him, maybe I don't. Oh, I love him so much. No, he was such an asshole. Oh, I love him so much. No, he was such an asshole. What do you think the universe will deliver? Nothing. And it's probably to your benefit because it's kind of like you can't deliver two diametrically opposed things at the same time. So going back and forth, it doesn't serve you. Sit down, make a decision, stick to it, make it come true in a short period of time. Another point could be because you haven't changed your mind about them. There's this something about changing your mind about a person without them changing on the outside first that is the most powerful trick under the sun. You observe the same behavior, there is that. But one day or one night or one afternoon, you can again sit down and make a decision. They're like that now. They're like this. You want to say they're changed? Fine. You want to say it's another version altogether? Fine. Whatever, however you want to kind of like fit it in your mind that will be, acceptable to you. You have to decide that this is what is happening now. This is how they are now. And I really mean it. This has to be real for you. Not mumbo jumbo, metaphysical, honest channel bullshit shit. No, this is real. This is reality. This is what this person is like. As we speak, you're changing him with your thoughts, with your energy about them. And nothing else is going on. If you're not accepting back if you're not accepting that this person could change, if you're not receiving any messages from them, if you haven't had them back yet, this is why you haven't changed your mind about the situation, haven't changed your mind about them, because this is the war inside of you. I guarantee you 90%, maybe 85 to 90% of the time. This is the war. They wronged me. They were like this, like that. The situation happened. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. And this is why I have resistance towards bringing them back. Naturally, of course. But my argument here is that it's not the same person. It's not the same version. You need to abandon the old version. It was an experiment of sorts. It was fun. Not really. But now you're bringing back, quote unquote, you're creating a new reality with a new version that's a lot more fun, a lot more fulfilling, caters to your needs and satisfaction. And when you think of things this way, there has no resistance of getting what you want, and what you want appears pretty instantaneously, okay, in a short period of time. Another point could be, and this I hear in coaching all the time, what am I doing wrong? I've done all the scripting. I've done all the this, affirmations, boo, boo, boo. What am I doing wrong? Oh my God. This is what you're doing wrong. Asking, what am I doing wrong? You're not doing anything wrong. Nothing is wrong. You just need to be on purpose about these things and really believe that you have the power. And my next point was going to be, because you don't know your power. There's nothing wrong that you're doing. First of all, there's nothing wrong anyway. You're just experiencing things. There's an experience here, experience there. Are you learning anything from these experiences would be the question, right? And so if you had an experience, an experiment with somebody, an experiment of creation, and you say, all right, well, let's toss this one. Didn't turn out the way I hoped it would be, or I wasn't diligent about it enough. So now we start anew. Very well then. I've learned many lessons from this situation, and that's beautiful, quite frankly. But that also requires power to create delay, to create something shitty, to create anything. That you woke up this morning in order to listen to this audio. It requires creation. All right. So there's nothing wrong that you're doing. The only thing that you really need to point your attention to is what it is you actually want. What it is you actually want. And to know that you've got the power, you've had the power all along, like in Oz, to create whatever the fuck you want. You just were directing your attention with like a flashlight in the dark towards things that you don't want, and regurgitating the past and talking about it and all that jazz. I love this quote. It's not actually a quote. In one of his lections, Bob Proctor, who's no longer with us, unfortunately, who's a brilliant speaker. His drawings do get confusing for me, if you know who Bob Proctor is. He said something really profound, like a long time ago. I listened to it, and that was already when I knew what scripting was, because I learned what scripting was when I was 12. But he said, if you write down a lie on a piece of paper, like the index cards that I talk about in my coaching on my channel, first it's a lie, but if you read it over and over every day, you will start to believe it. And if you will start to believe it, your belief will create the reality of these things. It will come true. The lie will come true. You know, it's like Billie Jean. The lie becomes a truth. So you say it often enough, it becomes the truth. So what do you want to buy into now? Do you want to buy into your old situations and this and that and the other, your old beliefs, your old narrative, your indecisiveness, lack of self-esteem and all this fucking jazz? Or do you want to create a new story that is worthy living and enjoying and worthy of you? Okay, by the way. And this is what I also want to like gem in here, as if this audio is not going to be long enough already. Don't worry, I'm never going to run out of material. I just wish I had time to write my book at some point. I mean, I was planning to write it this summer, but it just didn't happen that way. I'm fucking busy as shit. And I figured, my clients need me way more than I need to write the book. At some point, I need to just sit down and put it all together. It's all like written out. I just need to make sense of it. And yes, I write my book by hand. I wanted to insert this for people. This is so apropos, and this is why I wanted to insert it. The timelines versus parallel realities, right? So parallel realities are very similar to each other. So let's just say in one parallel reality, you are sitting here listening to me, and you're going to finish this audio. And another parallel reality is very similar, but somebody knocks on the door and there's like, I don't know, something, a package delivered or something like that. In another parallel reality, you're not listening to this audio at all and you're bicycling through Central Park or something like this. And so it's kind of similar. It's a similar life. But let's just say you change your life to such an extreme where you switch timelines. And so timeline essentially versus a parallel reality is a spike, like in the stock market, towards another set of parallel realities in which there is a very profound, noticeable change. And so that change would be jumping from no SP to suddenly your SP coming back, and with an entirely different personality, or with the personality of your preference, or this, that, and the other. So switching timelines is what your focus needs to be. Jump enough of a difference so that it's noticeable to you. And that's what I work on in my coaching. These are all my notes. All the information is below. And now stay still and keep listening. This is the piece that I recorded last night. I'm going to attach it to this audio. But I just wanted to say thank you very much for listening. And here's the piece from last night. There's something magical that happens when you stop being about this person and you start being about yourself. You lose interest in chasing completely. You lose interest in, watching 500 million videos and tarot cards and this and that and the other. And you just become about yourself and what it is you want to create in your life, in your personal life, without this person. You just say, you know what, you can run into a wall. For all I care, I am doing me. And it's such a freeing concept. It's not exactly that you don't want them back, but you're a person all of your own. Whereas before, it felt like you were attached at the hip to this person, which you never are. You are your own person. You should always remember that and do the things for yourself, for your businesses, for your friends, your family, this and that, without having to, constantly being like sitting on the edge of the seat and waiting for this guy or girl. It's a very liberating feeling of freedom. And that same feeling is really magnetic because it goes out into the universe and it has this basically message for your guy or girl that you're no longer clinging to them. You're your own person. You've got it going on. You don't really need anybody. You don't really care so much, to have to chase somebody or to do anything stupid like that. And that comes with a lot of self-work, a lot of, understanding that it's you who creates this, your reality, but it's also, it's about the kind of energy that you are emitting by being about yourself. You are representing the freedom that people are so attracted to. First of all, being clingy and chasing is not attractive, but you can't do it like on purpose, like, oh, look at me, I'm not being clingy, I'm not chasing you anymore. It has to be that you really deep down feel like, if you never came back into my life, I'm so totally fucking cool, you don't even understand right now. It's not about you, it's about me. A lot of you make it too much about your SP when you really have to catch yourself and remember, no, motherfucker, it's about me. It has always been about me. I made it about you, and I've wasted so much time thinking it's about you that I had it in reverse, essentially. And so when you really, really download this and start like not caring about what they're doing, how they're doing it, who they're with, for how long, they start caring about you more. They start obsessing about you. They start to figure out ways to please you, ways to communicate with you, and this and that and the other. Because when you're about yourself, and I talk about this ad nauseum, but when you're about yourself, when you're about what pleases you and not them all the time, what you want to create in your life, with the kind of person you're becoming, the kind of situations that you want to create in your life, that chat is so magnetic and so attractive that it's beyond. It just really is. And so you really have to understand that unless and until you reach the point where you can truly say to yourself, I don't care. I don't care. I just don't care. I'm going to do me. And if you're coming along, beautiful. And if you're not, go fuck yourself. Now, of course, you are going to get them back. But what I'm saying to you is this is the point you have to reach. You cannot come from neediness to attract a person who's not in your life right now, or who isn't behaving the way that you want them to behave. You really need to reach a point of, I don't give a shit anymore. And I'm going to be happy on my own and create beautiful shit. And if you come along, like I said, great. But if not, that's entirely fine. And I'm not, going to sit here and obsess over you. You need to be obsessing over me, quite frankly. And that's how you really shift the dynamic between you and them. Thank you very much for listening. Until next time.